Good day, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Tourismus Namibia broadcast. My name is Precious Nitanapo, and I will be your presenter for today, where we will be discussing topics, destinations, and to the point. But for now, let's head straight over to topics and see what's in store. Welcome back. You're just joining us and it's time for topics. And first up in topics today, we have a look at the African wild dogs conservation. The TSU Namibia K9 unit and the Kalahari African Wild Dog Conservation Project are holding an exclusive and intimate fundraiser event benefiting African wild dog conservation. The Wine and Dine event will take place at Yellowstone Trails on the 26th of August, which is reckoned as International African Wild Dog Day. The African wild dogs are the most endangered large carnivore in southern Africa, listed as critically endangered in Namibia. That means they need help before their time runs out. So join a night filled with guest speakers, including some of the leading experts in the field of wild dog conservation, a silent auction, a canine demonstration and facility tour, wine tasting hosted by Painted Wolf Wines, prize drawing and more. Of course, you are able to secure your ticket now as space is limited, as tickets go for the price of 750 Namibian dollars. Now that's definitely an interesting one to see how to celebrate 26th of August. I know 26th of August in Namibia is known as a public holiday, which is Heroes Day, but for once we can also have a look and celebrate wild dogs. But up next we have still on topics, we discuss sustainable trophy hunting can be ensured. There are major opportunities for the trophy hunting sector in Namibia if it embraces change such as the age-related trophy ART measurement system. The system aims at creating incentives to hunt truly old animals past their prime and to discourage the hunting of immature animals altogether. President of the Namibia Professional Hunting Association, NAPA, Axel Kramer, said this in a recent presentation during an information day by Wildlife Ranching Namibia. Kramer said that it is more sensible to identify age classes of animals than to work on actual age in years. These age classes are immature, prime, and past prime. He explained that once the stage of prime is reached, the outward growth of horns and tusks largely comes to an end. He said that the horns and tusks have developed into the weapons they were designed to be. Now, Kramer said that the age-related trophy system will therefore target animals past their prime to ensure genetic sustainability of trophy hunting. He said that this is to show that hunting can very well be conservation and provide a tool within a management plan towards non-detriment or even enhancement findings for important authorities and to enhance the trophies by way of aging animals. According to Kramer, he finally says trophy hunting accounts for about 3% of tourists to Namibia, but 20% of tourism revenue. Well, that's definitely an interesting one to have a look at. A lot of information that I actually didn't know about. But up next and finally in topics, we have a look at the overpopulation of seals. The overpopulation of seals is a concern for the fisheries sector. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Natural Resources is trying to come up with solutions to tackle the problems, and various suggestions have been made, including the development of seal meat for human consumption. The seal population, according to the Fisheries Ministry, stands at 1.6 million and is made up of 26 colonies. The ministry has issued a quota for the harvesting of 80,000 pups and 6,000 bulls this year. However, it now appears that the growing population of the animals poses a threat to the fishing sector. Shekero Tweya, chairman of Parliament's Standing Committee on Natural Resources, said at a meeting with Erongo Governor Neville Andre this week that there seems to be an overpopulation of seals, and data suggests that they eat more of the available fish than people are allotted through annual catching quotas. It was suggested that more bulls should be killed yearly, or that the country should consider seal meat for human consumption as it is rich in omega-3 fatty acids. The culling method has raised ethical concerns among environmentalists, but authorities say the population must be thinned to maintain fish stocks in the ocean, as seals are estimated to consume a total amount of 2 million tons of fish per year. Now that definitely is a lot of fish for seals to be consuming, and it does seem like we are in conflict with the seals at the moment, as they are taking up more fish than what humans can actually consume at the time. But let's hear what the viewers think of consuming seal meat, actually. In the comment section, of course, we can have that discussion. But that is it for topics. But up next, stay tuned, because we have destinations on the way. Welcome back. You're watching Tourismus Namibia broadcast. It's of course time for destinations. If you're just joining us, you just missed topics where we discuss quite a few interesting things, as well as the overpopulation of seals and possible seal consumption. But up first in destinations, we have a look at Nunu's Kitchen, which is situated in Windhoek. That is of course in the Ochumwise constituency area. It is very close to the Benis property consulting area as well. You can find it in Ottawa Street. That is in Ochumwise, very close to Focus Safaris area, as you can see in the surrounding areas as well. And I see a repairs shop. Of course, the neighboring streets include Bourne Street and Oslo Street. Now, Lavinia Titus, popularly known as Nunu, is the founder of Nunu's Kitchen, a restaurant and lounge found in Ochumwise, a township in northwestern Windhoek. She started the business after discovering her passion and creativity in the kitchen. Now, we all have heard about Nunu's at one point or another, but if you haven't, let's have a look at that video.
Cool, popping and trending Nunu's Kitchen. And you know what? Guess what? Guess what? Right next to me, I have the owner of the establishment, Nunu herself. Hi, Nunu. You look very happy.
I am.
How are you doing?
Happy to be having you guys.
Amazing stuff. So I know this is like no, first things first. How are you doing? How is the day? How is the weather? It is winter. How are you feeling overall?
I'm doing great, thank you. Weather is great, atmosphere is great, and I'm just happy to have you guys here.
Amazing stuff. We are happy to be here as well. And you know what, Nia? I know this is gonna be. Where did the name Nunu's come from?
So, growing up, I was an ugly baby.
What?
Apparently, my mom says.
There's no such thing as an ugly baby.
Okay, well, I was. So she would be like, oh, nee.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then the name just grew on, and everyone that was really close to me, friends, family from home, would call me Nunu.
Is it?
So yeah.
So your name is not Nunu?
It is. It's my house name.
But what is your real name? Okay, you please tell us what your whole full name is.
Lavinia Laudika Ndapandola Titus.
Is it? Okay, no, you know what? I'm going to stick to the Nunu. That's a lot, right? So, Nunu, we are here, of course. Can you please tell us and our viewers who don't know, so they know where to come next time, where is here? Where are we seated right now? The location, everything.
Okay, so Nunu's Kitchen is situated in Ochumwise 2, Ottawa Street, house number 424. Mostly when taking cab, you can tell the taxi Ochumwise 2 by Fountain Bar. It's quite a distance that you can walk from the bar up here.
Okay.
Alternatively, you can also find us on Google Maps. So if you Google Maps Nunu's Kitchen, it will pop up and direct you.
Amazing stuff. So it is accessible. There you have it, the directions. Don't say we didn't plug you now, all right? So Nunu, you know what? One thing that I really love and I've observed about your lovely establishment is that you are the one creating the things. You know, you are doing the magic. You're creating the magic in the
It
kitchen.
is Nunu's kitchen after all.
Exactly. So you're creating the magic. You know, can you just tell me what is the inspiration behind it, or what inspires you to start cooking? Did you just grow up one of those that, because I can't, me and food, give me zero, right? Is it something that you grew up doing, or how did you come about making food?
Okay, so I believe I have a very creative mind, and it just comes out every time I'm in the kitchen.
Okay.
So I'm self-taught, and
Okay.
it's just something I really love doing. So yeah, that's where it started.
Amazing. So there you have it, viewers. Sometimes all you need is passion, right? So speaking about the food and being self-taught, you are going to prepare 2 meals for us, right? One for my lovely guest and one that I'll be having. Can you just touch on that a little bit? What will we be having today?
Okay, so today we'll be serving you a chicken and apple salad, something a bit more healthy.
Nice, nice.
And then we'll also be serving you a lamb stew with steamed bread.
Lekker, lekker. I can't have. Is there a little bit spicy? Is there spice to
That's
it?
alles, that's alles.
Lekker. I can't wait to have that. So you do offer food here. What else can we find at Nunu's Kitchen? Can we come for a beverage? What time of the day is best for us to be here?
Anytime.
Anytime is tea time.
I want to find you there before we even open. So we also offer hot beverages. We have ciders, beer. We have cocktails.
Ooh,
We
okay.
offer habli.
Okay.
And yeah, also just we are more of a homely and what's the word? We create a homely and
Atmosphere.
comfortable vibe. Yeah.
Nice, amazing stuff. So Nunu, you know what? I think that you don't definitely want to keep this all to yourself, right? What are your future plans? Do you plan on expanding one day, or is this the only place that you want to establish?
So I believe, like every business owner, the end goal is always growth. So right now I'm quite content and happy with the little that I have, but looking forward to growth and expansion, and yeah,
Amazing stuff, amazing. I love that, you know.
looking forward to sitting at home and having the dollar bills fly in.
Money working
Because
for
now I'm
you.
here all the time.
Yeah. Okay, amazing. So Nunu, we've seen you on your Instagram, right? First of all, I want you to do this for me. I want you to tell us where we can find you on Instagram, and then you can maybe also touch on, you know, how we can order the food. I know you're running a monthly subscription plan that you have going on. Please tell us how we can access that as well.
Okay, so you can find us on Instagram. It's underscore Nunu's Kitchen, underscore Nunu's, underscore Kitchen, underscore. Yeah, but I'm sure if you search Nunu's Kitchen, it should pop up.
Yes.
And yes, we are actually starting next month, running a 1,100. What am I saying?
I know, I did my homework, Nunu.
Thank you so much.
It's 1.5
Yes,
for one meal every single day,
Yes.
weekday.
So from
Free
Monday
delivery.
to Friday, Monday to Friday, you get a meal. So once the customers subscribe, we work out a menu according to their dietary requirements, and then they'll then receive their meal Monday to Friday for a month for 1.5 with free delivery.
Nice, amazing stuff. Well, there you have it. I think it's to be honest, I think it's a bargain.
bargain.
It's a huge.
Also, we are actually having a special. If you get us 5 subscribers, you get a meal for a month for free.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you have it. That's a whole competition on its own. If you get Nunu's 5 subscribers, you definitely will have a whole month, an entire month free food, right? So Nunu, just to close off our lovely interview, and I can't wait to dive into the food, so I'm going to have to love and leave you, right? But before then, is there anything that you would like to say? What is it that you have to say about Nunu's? Why should we come to Nunu's?
Okay, so I think my t-shirt says it all.
With love, Nunu's Kitchen.
It's really nothing but love that we do here and what we offer here as well. Everything is done with passion, with love, and if you haven't been at Nunu's, what are you waiting for?
Exactly.
Well, that was it for Nunu's Kitchen, but up next in Destinations, we have a look at the Erfdeel Cultural Centre. Now, the Erfdeel Cultural Centre is also situated, or located rather, in Windhoek, which is the capital city of Namibia, and you can see it's right in the centre, right up front in Bismarck Street, right close to the Oudtshoorn Bitterreinde Monument, which is temporarily closed at the moment, but just in case you need to find your way, that is the surrounding areas. Now, the Erfdeel Cultural Centre in Windhoek houses a number of pieces, mostly from the Alta Vesta Museum's collection. That serves as a reminder of the heritage of the Afrikaans language and the Afrikaner folk. Now, I definitely think that is an interesting one to have a look at and an interesting one to visit. I know we don't see a lot of Afrikaans history and monuments, so it is quite an interesting one, but let's have a look at that video.
The Erfdeel Cultural Centre in the capital city of Windhoek houses a number of pieces that remind of the Afrikaans language, its heritage, and the heritage of her speakers. A look at the history books reveals that Afrikaans first arrived in Namibia by the Oorlam and Bastard people, who used it as a medium to cross cultural barriers. It is commonly accepted that the majority of Afrikaner folk arrived in Namibia as a result of the Deutschland trek. Afrikaans is strongly rooted in Dutch and is the result of the intermingling of the Dutch language with the colloquial languages spoken in the Cape Colony. In the 18th century, Dutch adopted vocabulary from, among others, the German language and the Khoisan languages spoken in the Cape Colony and in southern Africa. Until the mid-20th century, Afrikaans was known in Dutch as kombuistaal or kitchen language and not formally recognized. In 1815, Afrikaans started replacing Malaysian as the mode of instruction in Muslim schools. It was originally written in the Arabic alphabet before Afrikaans adopted the Latin alphabet. It wasn't until 1925 when Afrikaans was officially recognized as a language by the South African government. In Namibia, before Namibian independence, Afrikaans and German were both recognized as official languages, but following independence, Afrikaans is recognized as a national but not an official language in Namibia. The Deutschland trek is the collective name for three respective treks by the Afrikaner people from the Transvaal area in what is now known as South Africa. These took place between 1847 and 1881. These three treks were primarily undertaken in a search for political independence and better living conditions. Following the Great Trek, a number of Voortrekker groups could be found across the Transvaal area. However, there was no unity between these groups as there was no leader to unite the separate groups.
That brings us to the end of Destinations today. That was the Erfdeel Cultural Centre as well as Nunu's Kitchen earlier. But stay tuned because up next we have To The Point. Welcome back to the Tourismus Namibia broadcast. I'm still Precious Nitanapo, and it's time for To The Point, where we are having a look at the guide exchange, and we discuss Ultimate Safari's guide. Johan Klute has been one of the lucky winners chosen to go on the Kusini Global Guide Exchange program. Now, Todos Santos Eco Adventures created the guide competition, with the winner earning the chance to spend 2 weeks at Mvelo's camps working and enjoying time on safari, with Mvelo and eventually other Kusini collection partners in turn sending their guides to Baja California, sir, for a reciprocal experience. Let's have a look at this video.
Well, good morning and good evening to our two guests joining us here today. Brian Howergy from Todos Santos Eco Adventures, from Todos Santos down in Baja California Sur, Mexico. And Johan Klute from Ultimate Safaris, guide extraordinaire, joining us from Windhoek, Namibia. Thank you both for joining me today to talk about Johan's upcoming trip to Baja, all the way from Namibia. So Brian, we're going to start with you just to get a little bit of background on this guide exchange that we've set up between Todos Santos Eco Adventures and Ultimate Safaris. We had our first guide coming from Baja to Zimbabwe with another Kusini partner back in August in Velo Safari Lodges. And this is the second guide to make the transatlantic trip. And I thought first, if you could just give us a little bit of background on how this whole idea and concept came about to do guide exchanges between the two continents and the company.
Yeah, absolutely. So the concept for the guide exchange is really to motivate our Todos Santos Eco Adventures guides to be not only the best guides they can be, but to be the best teammates they can be. The guides are evaluated by their peers, by their other guides. Sergio and I only have one vote each. So it's really they're being motivated by their peers to be the best guides that they can be and to be the best teammates that they can be. So we actually had the first year we started the evaluations in 2019, and we announced the first winner in June of 2020. And of course, there was nowhere to go in June of 2020. So our winner from that year was Manuel Rodriguez. And so he just took his victory trip to Zimbabwe in August of 2022. And Manuel had never actually left Mexico when he went to Zimbabwe. So it really transformed his entire life. It really was just the most thrilling and exciting trip of a lifetime. And this is what we hope for having Johan come here. We hope this ends up being one of the most thrilling and exciting trips of his lifetime. And then we will be having whoever wins our guide competition this year will go to Namibia. And I am sure it will be one of the most amazing trips of their lifetime.
Well, Brian, you said that it was Manuel's first trip out of Baja when he went to Zimbabwe in August. And Johan, I wanted to start the questions with you with asking about your travel history. Where else have you traveled in the past? And is this your first trip outside of Africa or outside of Namibia?
Yeah, so for myself, as a guide now, I've guided in Namibia, I've guided in Botswana a little bit, and I went to Zimbabwe. I've traveled to South Africa, so that is just Southern Africa. Outside of that, I've never left the African continent, so I'm pretty excited getting, to leave the continent and then just experience something totally different.
Absolutely, and this undoubtedly will be totally different. What are you imagining the experience to be like? Do you have any thoughts or dreams about what Baja will be like when you arrive in about a week's time, I think?
Yeah, I've definitely looked at the images, but as you know, images doesn't do it justice. With the traveling, I've guided so many years, 18 years in the industry. I've heard about people traveling, the layovers, getting from A to B, the jet lag. This is going to be the first time I'm actually going to experience this. So I will be able to relate to the guests now firsthand when they say, I have jet lag.
Yeah, it's a big trip. You just told us you're flying via Doha to Los Angeles and then down to Baja, to Cabo, and then up to Todos Santos. So it is a heck of a long journey, well over 24 hours, I'm sure. Well, I've had the pleasure of being in Namibia under your tutelage as a guide on several occasions. I count myself lucky for that. And I've seen you firsthand. I know how incredibly knowledgeable you are about the African bush and about Namibia, about rhinos, about giraffes, about all kinds of really exciting animals in Namibia in the bush. Do you think any of that knowledge of the African bush is going to translate to marine wildlife in Baja?
It's going to be totally different, to immerse in a different environment. So I don't know how it's going to translate, but I'm very, very excited. Kind of, taking the bush knowledge and then see if it relates to the marine ecosystem. So it's exciting to think about it.
Well, I can tell you from experience that that getting nipped by a sea lion is far better experience than by a terrestrial lion. So I'm
Yeah.
sure you get to go swimming with the sea lions at some point, and they're a little bit less intimidating than terrestrial lions. I promise.
And I guess a higher survival rate if you get attacked.
At home, yeah.
All right. So wrapping up, what are you most excited about for this trip?
I think from the start, I think because it's all new to me, and then obviously finally getting there. And I know when I shake Brian's hand, I know I've made it. And then it's just all about just, immersing myself, experiencing, new culture, new environment. So I'm really, really looking forward to this experience.
Well, we can't wait to follow along, Johan. I know we'll be posting some more videos of your experience in the coming weeks. Brian, any last words of welcome before Johan gets on that plane and heads your way in a couple of days?
Well, I just want to say our entire guide team is so excited that you're coming, Johan. Everyone is sort of already competing to be the one to get you on their trips and to have you participate. So it's a super exciting thing for them to have you here, and they're excited to kind of learn from you about your guiding experience and what you bring in. And then I am just super excited for you to really just see a different type of wildlife. The marine wildlife is it's so similar, these large animals that are so engaging, but it's also very different too. So I'm just super excited for the whole package.
Excellent.
Well, safe travels, Johan. We will be following along and can't wait to live vicariously through your eyes, your fresh eyes in Baja. So we'll be checking in the next couple of days and weeks. Have a great trip.
Thank you, Ted, and thank you, Brian, for inviting me. So yeah, hopefully we get to meet each other soon.
Hasta pronto.
Excellent.
Well, that does bring us to the end of our Tourismus Namibia broadcast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That concludes our topics segment, our destination segment, as well as our to the point segment. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please stick around for next week's edition as well. Goodbye.